We don't want to extend our life only to spend all those extra years in very poor health. So as the population ages, disease-specific treatments may lose impact without addressing this underlying biological cause. I want to leave you with a call to action. Consider how we as leaders in medical affairs can harness the strategies discussed today to tackle the urgent challenges of aging. By merging preventative medicine, biotechnology, and public health efforts, we have the opportunity to create a future where health is not just preserved, but extended for life with better health. Prioritizing investment in geroscience research, scaling best practices in longevity medicine, from lifestyle medicine prevention to precision interventions to the forefront of the emergence technologies will all be vital. We also have to cultivate this longevity medicine, physician workforce, and allied healthcare providers so that we can implement preventative strategies and deploy gerotherapeutics as they emerge. The potential of geroscience is revolutionary. It's offering us the chance to simultaneously tackle the underlying causes of chronic disease and transform healthcare as we know it.
Hello and welcome to the All Out Coach podcast. My name is Tim Mikhelishvili. I'm your host, CEO of Amadea Pharma, which sponsored the third annual Medical Affairs Innovation Olympics earlier this year in October. This is a global ideation event that features some of the leading scientists in pharma, biotech, and healthcare, life science investors, and med tech, Olympic gold medalists who share their inspiration in a workshop Olympic Village format during the course of 16 days of intense competition, learning, and development. In this special episode, you will hear an update in longevity medicine from an globally recognized expert and pioneer in the field, Dr. David Barzilai. This is an opportunity for you to learn not only about how you can live longer based on latest research, but also how you can live better, higher quality lives as well. Dr. David Barzilai is MD, PhD, and also holds an MBA. He's a founder of Healthspan Coaching, LLC, where he consults on lifestyle as well as health. He is board-certified dermatologist. His PhD focused on evidence-based medicine. He speaks in this keynote presentation that he gave in October regarding many of the critical issues that affect healthcare globally, such as gaps in treating one disease at a time. And he offers alternative methods and actions for us to follow up on to address those underlying root causes that can prevent chronic diseases for many years and morbidity. And so you'll want to stay tuned and hear his presentation as well as some of the Q&A. Enjoy the episode, subscribe to the All Out Coach, and share it with your friends.
Good morning, everyone. I'm David Barzilai, founder and CEO of Healthspan Coaching and Longevity Consulting. As a lifestyle medicine longevity physician, I help individuals and organizations apply best practices and evidence-based strategies to optimize health and longevity. First, let me express my gratitude and pleasure for being with you today. It's truly an honor to be invited to serve as a keynote speaker, especially alongside an Olympic gold medalist. And today my goal is to provide you with an overview of the evolving landscape of preventative medicine and its role in longevity. We'll explore a few of the promising approaches and interventions currently available, focusing on how medical affairs professionals can play a pivotal role in advancing these strategies. We're currently experiencing one of the most dramatic demographic shifts in history. We're in the midst of a global aging phenomenon. By 2050, the percent of people over 60 will double. Between 2015 and 2050, the percentage of the world's population over 60 will nearly double from 12 to 22%. This translates to an increase of about 1 billion people, from 1 billion to 2 billion by 2050, who are over 65. And the dramatic shift is thanks to advances in medical technology, in particular public health, sanitation, and similar means. And that's a great thing. But as a result, we experience profound economic healthcare challenges that we need to be ready for. This figure on the left underscores the sharp trend in the aging population, particularly among those over 65. The trajectory is even steeper for the oldest old demographic. Countries like Japan and Italy are at the forefront of this demographic change. However, the rest of the world will soon face similar challenges as this trend accelerates globally. While increasing life expectancy is a remarkable achievement, it's creating a gray tsunami as people age with diseases like dementia, diabetes, heart conditions. Healthcare spending over 65 years old is on average 2 or 3 times higher than those under 65, and it's even sharper at older ages. In the US, the national health spending is projected to reach 19% by 2027, a trajectory that's economically unsustainable. Globally, aging is driving healthcare costs up significantly due to longer life expectancy, combined with more years spent in frailty and poor health. So as the population ages, we're seeing more strain on healthcare systems and social supports. We need effective interventions. As we can see here, the rise in healthcare expenditures is staggering, rising at an exponential trajectory with advanced biological age. Healthspan is a core concept here, and in longevity medicine, it focuses on extending not only lifespan, but health span too. We see on the left, we can extend lifespan, shifting the curve right by delaying the onset of disease. But without improving health, we merely prolong the period of sick span or time spent in poor health. On the right, we see this goal not only to extend lifespan, but also to compress sick span, increasing the years spent in good health. This is a true aim or holy grail of health span accompanying increased lifespan. The Geroscience hypothesis proposes that targeting biological causes of aging may delay multiple age-related diseases simultaneously. In other words, it might be a more promising approach to compressing rather than extending morbidity with potential life extension interventions, right? We don't want to extend our life only to spend all those extra years in very poor health. So as the population ages, disease-specific treatments may lose impact without addressing this underlying biological cause for the exponential rise in chronic disease and morbidity that we see as people approach advancing years. There are 12 hallmarks of aging. These are essentially, as we see on the left, it started with 9, now it's 12. It's a work in progress describing them, validating them. But the idea is the figure illustrates there are certain hallmarks of aging biologically that drive aging-associated diseases. A hallmark must naturally occur, appear with increased frequency or severity with age. If you worsen the hallmark, aging should be aggravated. On the other hand, if you improve it, you should slow aging-associated disease and morbidity. So this includes genomic instability, telomere attrition, mitochondrial dysfunction, autophagy, many others. By targeting these hallmarks, we aim to address the root causes rather than the individual disease. And by doing so, we could significantly extend health span and improve quality of life. And based on that Geroscience hypothesis, we're not just addressing one condition, we're addressing multiple simultaneously through the common source being biologic aging. Current medicine and public health focused primarily on detecting and treating diseases individually, but this approach is limited. As I was saying, it's like a game of whack-a-mole. You're addressing one illness at a time, so another soon follows, which can be fatal with mortality or can be just reduced quality of life. In fact, there have been modeling exercises by Geroscience and others that even a cure for cancer would only extend our average lifespan by about 3 years or so. A geroprotector instead would reduce the risk of all aging-related diseases, simultaneously so that even modest effects can significantly improve health outcomes. Healthcare savings alone could exceed 38 trillion per year with even a modest reduction in biologic aging. Laboratory studies provide compelling evidence that aging can be modulated across species. Cynthia Kenyon's landmark research in nematode worm C. elegans showed that mutating a single gene, DAF2, doubled the worm's lifespan. So Cynthia Kenyon and Tom Johnson and others find that there are these fundamental biological processes that are actually conserved between species through billions of years of evolution. So this insulin IGF-1 signaling pathway can also be found in humans too. There was another pathway closely related, the mTOR pathway, also which has shown life extension across a wide diversity of model organisms from yeast and now extending upwards to mammals. In 2009, the interventions testing program found that rapamycin administration, even as late as middle age, increased the lifespan by 9% in males and 14% in females. Subsequent studies found even greater lifespan extension at 20% and beyond. The conservation of these pathways suggests such interventions could be effective in humans. After all, mice as mammals are much closer to us than yeast are, and it was conserved across that whole pathway. While translating these findings is complex, they do provide us a hopeful foundation for future therapies. This slide shows survival curves from that landmark study. Essentially, we're seeing a shift right. And with it, when we study those mice in this case, we also see that there's a remarkable extension in facets of their health span. It's not just limited to, say, cancer alone, and it does reduce the risk of cancer, which is their primary cause of death. But you see other improvements to functional markers in their activity, tensile strength in their tendons of their tail, and so forth. So we're at an exciting period of innovation in longevity medicine, and this is the growing frontier in aging biotech. It's rapidly expanding. In 2020 alone. Over 2.5 billion was invested in longevity biotech startups. Companies like Unity Biotechnology are developing senile-like therapies, and Calico Life Sciences, affiliated with Alphabet or Google, is exploring fundamental aspects of aging. Health affairs professionals play a crucial role in advancing these innovations, designing and managing clinical trials, navigating complex regulatory environments, and educating healthcare providers and patients. Joan Manick, PI for a leading study that early on showed low-dose everolimus. It's a rapalog, so it's related to rapamycin. It showed enhanced immune function in elderly patients. There's been other work, some conflicting. Since then, my own interpretation, the endpoints need to be improved and the patient population better selected. But even there, we're seeing trends. The TAME trial, hoping to get funded. It's near Barzilai, no relation to myself, is PI. And he's investigating, or hopes to investigate, how metformin can delay age-related diseases. There are a ton of other approaches. Jim Kirkland has been pioneering SenNet. They've been looking at senolytics that target senescent cells to destroy them as one potential approach. I'm sure you've read the news about epigenetic reprogramming in model organisms. We're hoping to apply to humans. There are many other areas. While translational geroscience offers exciting potential, it's important to remember that we already have many validated tools. In fact, as we can see, adopting a variety of health habits can increase life expectancy by 23, 24 years for those who adapt all of them. That's really the pillar foundation. So the idea is not that these are a substitute. In fact, scaling this might be among the lowest lying fruit, if not the lowest lying fruit, for extending healthy longevity, but it can only take us so far if it doesn't address the cause of this exponential increase in morbidity. So I believe the future of healthcare lies in longevity medicine, an interdisciplinary field that integrates the latest advances in genomics, biotechnology, and preventive medicine to optimize both health span and lifespan. Unlike traditional medicine, which focuses on treating disease after it arises primarily, longevity medicine aims to delay or prevent its onset by addressing these mechanisms and through lifestyle medicine. The idea is to identify risk factors early, screen early, and potentially do some of these interventions we talked about it. So Clinicians play a crucial bridge in incorporating best practices. I'm excited about some major initiatives here. One of them is a global national strategy for health longevity through the National Academy of Medicine, the Global Roadmap for Healthy Longevity. It set a goal to extend healthy life expectancy by 6 years by 2030. And you can see here they have an ambitious target. Thought leadership and recommendations regarding cross-sector deployment. If you haven't seen it already, I recommend you search for it. They cover healthcare policy, urban policy, education, and the importance of collaboration. Another exciting initiative is the Hevolution Foundation. This incredible philanthropy committed up to $1 billion annually to accelerate progress in aging-related research, particularly underlying aging biology. They're responsible for think tanks, including the Global Healthspan Summit, and the X Prize is another exciting endeavor. The X Prize is incentivizing scientific breakthroughs, fostering collaboration, and training the next generation to translate research into practical life-extending interventions. These initiatives are driving accelerated funding, innovation, and progress in aging research and development. So looking ahead, building a health-span society will require global collaboration across healthcare, policy, and research. To create a future where people can live longer, healthier lives, we must bridge the gap between biotech innovations and public health initiatives. This commitment to promoting both lifespan and healthspan will ensure the promise of longevity is realized for all. The Great Tsunami requires immediate reforms in healthcare. Compression of morbidity should be a central focus to ensure longer lives are also healthier. And we must invest in both aging biology research and efforts to bring these innovations to patients through clinical trials and translational medicine. As we conclude, I want to leave you with a call to action. Consider how we, as leaders in medical affairs, can harness the strategies discussed today to tackle the urgent challenges of aging. By merging preventative medicine, biotechnology, and public health efforts, we have the opportunity to create a future where health is not just preserved, but extended for life with better health. Prioritizing investment in geroscience research, scaling best practices in longevity medicine, from lifestyle medicine prevention to precision interventions to the forefront of emergence technologies will all be vital. We also have to cultivate this longevity medicine, physician workforce, and allied healthcare providers so that we can implement preventative strategies and deploy gerotherapeutics as they emerge. The potential of geroscience is revolutionary. It's offering us the chance to simultaneously tackle the underlying causes of chronic disease and transform healthcare as we know it. So this is a QR code. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn for a consultative or other collaborations, feel free to also connect on agingdoc.com. Thank you for your time. It was an honor and pleasure to be with you today. I'm excited for our future. I think we can tackle these challenges together.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Barzilai, very much for sharing this information and this presentation on a topic that I think is a duty for all of us in healthcare to our next generation, for them to live longer and healthier lives as well. So any one quick question you have or any other final comment, please feel free to address the audience.
I'm happy to take any questions. I tend to be offline outside of a 40-hour plus consultative commitments. I divide my time between ultra high net worth clients who have an annual retainer for me and big jobs for consultative. But if individuals are interested in connecting with some of the public work I do, I'll be the inaugural speaker for the keynote for the newly created Geneva College for Longevity Sciences, or of Longevity Sciences. And I will be speaking to a physician audience at Longevity Docs, or if you're in the Boston area, trying to preserve a little bit of my voice for Boston Biotech. I'll be their guest tomorrow. So, but
Great.
I'm happy to
Great.
connect with any of you.
Great. Well, I think there's one quick comment from Noor Noor, do you have a question, comment?
Yes. Aloha, everyone. Hi.
Okay, let's keep.
Thank you, David, for
My
very much.
pleasure. Thank you for
Um,
having me.
two questions. Choose the one you can answer in any quick way you want. So one is Neuralink and brain chips, and now aging. If you can give any comment, what your thought. Personally, I love the idea and I think it's good. But this is the first question. Second one is about digital health, telehealth, EMR, Epic. If at all you can give me a hint, how can your experience in keeping people at younger aging or biologically age healthy and this kind of digital software stuff, what a niche market you think from your experience? It may be pivotal for my startup. Thank you. These are the two questions.
Um, I'll start with your second question first. It's a very broad question, so I'll speak sort of globally. I mean, it depends particularly on your niche, who is your market. I mean, my market is a simple, ultra high net worth individuals who want very one-on-one, and the rest is large consultative work. People have consulted with me for larger projects, but it depends on who they want to reach and the current resources they have. So it's no different than any other SWOT analysis, except I think to be a leader in your area, I do believe sub-specialization is increasingly important with the advent and commoditization and open sourcing of a variety of easy to access, whether it's wearables or it's Llama or other open source style models for AI, generative models, and others. So I think to be competitive, you don't just need to be very good, but you also need to know who your target is and take the best from each tool shed to optimize towards a well-defined objective that's measurable, and you have the team you assemble for it. So that's my quick answer for your second one. Diving back
Thank you.
to
Thank you.
Neuralink, for your first question, I think if you look at this through the lens of biologic aging, now wearing my physician hat as opposed to my MBA and other hats I see that there's an exponential dementia increase, regardless of your ApoE or genetic type. As you get older, this doubling, of the rate of dementia. So we can fix all the things in the world, but unless we fix and have a greater capacity for the way our wetware of our brain functions, it's not a realistic thing in terms of preserving health span beyond a certain period. We might not be there yet, but it won't be that far beyond it. So the concept, whether it's a moonshot long-term target for having more integration between the machine world and the biologic world. And there is a science to it, even if we're very rudimentary right now. We are making rapid progress from that rudimentary level. Or more immediately, if you're talking, assistive devices, where there's a huge market for disability and other specific populations where having a direct interface, say, using as we've recently seen in Elon's demo, I think it's just extraordinary to be able to interact with the world both socially and constructively. So those are my brief comments on those. Hope it helps a little bit.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. And thanks for being very active in the Hoover app, by the way, Dr. Barzilai. I hope you'll continue that. We'll have many more discussions there as well.
It was an honor being a keynote, and I'm happy to connect with any of you through LinkedIn. And if you connect on X, I try to keep my followers abreast, just as a free service, what's going on. It was a pleasure, Tim. It was an honor to be here, and thanks for inviting me to be keynote.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.